Every time you're down, you can make it right, and that makes you larger than life. Alright, for now, to start off with something really new. You may be aware that I don't always have to do episodes the same way that I've been doing it. We can do podcasts, anything that revolves around the topic we're discussing. And now here's a little early bird type of message. I wanted to save this at the end for when I do the last episode, but I decided to do it right now. For the later seasons, don't be confused about the year. What I'm talking about is like, you may think that we're talking about anything in a certain year, but not exactly. It could be like any other movie, game, show, or anything. It's like seeing an old movie in like the present day. It's kind of like that sort of deal. So I just wanted it to be unique. So that's all. I just didn't want to confuse you. So to get things out of the way, here's the mini overview. Stuart is going through some difficult times, one of which is trying to find someone to bond with, similar to how George has a best friend in this film. His dad tells him to find a silver lining which would lead him to a better chance at anything coming his way. That silver lining is in the form of a canary named Margalo, who becomes his new friend, but unaware that she's a pawn of the antagonist of the film, a peregrine falcon. But things get a little hit and miss along the way, so me and Christian will take care of that. Okay, so to start out with everything awesome with Stuart Little 2 as we can remember it from.
Well, when I found it again on VHS, I started rewatching it. First, I, of course, have to fast forward through the commercials because it takes so well, especially on VHS because you can't skip it. But I stopped it when I saw Celine Dion, and when I stopped it, I heard singing. Her song gave me an interest. So at the end of the movie, I heard a song which is called "I'm Alive." I really enjoyed it. It became my second favorite Celine Dion after Ashes from Deadpool 2, which is how I got introduced to Celine Dion. And yes, it's a really interesting song, really catchy, and yeah.
Oh, I hear you loud and clear about that, but come on, skipping through the commercials on VHS. I know you can't really skip on VHS, but some of that was pretty amazing to me. Like, if I remember correctly, if it was either Stuart Little 2 or Dragon Tales, that it showed the previews of other movies and other stuff like, what was it? Kermit's Swamp Years, the Berenstain Bears, if I remember. It's just.
I understand, but I understand this subject, but for me, because the commercials take a while, there are a lot of commercials, so that's why I have to skip commercials. If there's interesting for me to see, I'll stop it, you know.
Oh yes, I hear.
All right. So I remember, seeing Silver 2 is really shocking surprise. Like, for example, the guy that played the Falcon, remind me who his name is.
James Woods.
Thank you, James Woods, who played the main antagonist, the Falcon guy. He also played as Benedict in Where He Says School's Out, which surprised the frick out of me.
Yeah, other notable roles that may remind you of him is when he played himself in Family Guy, Hades from Hercules. Let's see. Oh yeah, one of the earlier ones that I got introduced to, Gloomiest Maximus from Roly Poly, The Great Defender of Fun.
That also shocked me when I found that out. But yes, and Falcon is a pretty decent villain. We'll talk about more of that a little bit. Let's start with you, Fresh. What were your thoughts when you first saw the movie?
Yes, this is the first instance that I saw the sequel before the original movie, which, well, yes, I've always liked Stuart Little 2 better than the original. And, let's see, when you first watch it, it's just so goddamn beautiful. Like the song Put a Little Love in Your Heart, and when it started rolling, you see shots of New York everywhere, just amazing. You already know you're off to a good start.
Yeah. And the cast is incredible. Like, for example, the white cat that was in the first movie is also in the second film, voiced by Nathan Lane, who you may know as Timon from the Lion King franchise.
And yes, the cat, Snowbell, to help you out.
Yes, thank you.
So yes.
And
Oh no! Oh wait, I'm just gonna put this out. Yes, I got introduced the cast from the original. That's how I got introduced to them, and especially with James Woods and stuff. So I'm just gonna get that out. Also with Brad Garrett as well. Yes.
Right. And actually, I knew Brad Garrett was going to be in a movie, but I wasn't paying attention. I don't remember what I was doing at that part, but I missed the part where he made an appearance, so that was completely my fault. So, yeah.
Oh no, it happens. It happens like it could just catch you off guard. Like at first you might seem like you don't care, but it's like, wait, what? How was I so blind to see that? It could go either way.
Yeah. And Snowbell's cat friend is voiced by a guy named Steve Zahn. For those who don't know, he played in a movie called Daddy Daycare starring Eddie Murphy and Jeff Garlin. And yeah, he's a pretty interesting character. All he wants is to eat Stuart, but of course Snowbell doesn't let him because he's part of the family. And his signature thing is, please.
Wait, he was in Daddy Daycare?
Yeah, Steve Zahn.
Oh, I was like, other movies who people may also recognize him as like, yes, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Chicken Little, and all that stuff.
Yeah, he was also in, if I'm not mistaken, was he in? Yeah, I think he was in a movie called Ridiculous 6, starring celebrities as like Adam Sandler, Steve Buscemi, and whatnot. Yeah, he was in Ridiculous 6, that's what I thought. But yes, Stuart Little 2 is an interesting movie. Well, it starts off, of course, Stuart. Wait, how did the movie go? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay, yeah, it starts off with Stuart and George participating in soccer. Yeah, it was a soccer game.
Oh, it's soccer. Okay. And wasn't there like a boat race, or is that later in the movie?
Whoa, that's in the first movie, dude.
Oh, okay. No, that's my bad. I do remember this though. Wait, what's the kid's name? Shoot.
What, George?
Yeah, George. Duh. Bleh. Okay, yeah. George was building a yellow airplane, and Stuart accidentally got in it. He was flying it, and he crashed it.
Yes, one of the many scenes that I consider awkward or uncomfortable for me. Like, it's just he didn't mean to do it. It was just a little bit of an accident, and
yeah. And of course, in the first movie, he didn't like him at first, but in the second movie, they're getting along just great.
I mean, like still brothers and stuff. I mean, like this is the reason, kind of like why he just wanted a younger brother. Which again, it's just. I mean, yes, it's just. You know, he just tried to bond more with his brother, but he had, a new best friend at the time that we got introduced to, and that influenced Stuart to have a friend of his own later on.
Yeah. And also comes another protagonist named Margalo, which is a yellow bird who injured her wing, run away from the main antagonist, the Falcon. Margalo became Stuart's love interest.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know about that. Either love interest or friend, or maybe both. I mean, like, I just think they might be considered just friends. I wouldn't really say love interest.
Well, I mean, they could be. I mean, who knows?
Okay, well, that one song when it started off that montage, like on top of the whole wide world and stuff, that was so. That was like the best scene in the movie for me.
You remember, like, when they were spending
I'm looking
time?
at a fandom. It does say that Stuart is her boyfriend. So
Oh, well, I mean, like, sometimes fandom can get things the wrong way. Sometimes people, they don't really know how to, like, get their facts straight sometimes.
yeah.
Sometimes.
She used to be friends with the Falcon, but she was kind of working for him. Like one scene where the mother of the family took off her wedding ring just for a moment to wash the dishes or wash her hands. She swiped it without anyone looking, and everyone thought that it fell down the drain, which forced Stuart to go down in there and find it. But the string snapped, and she had to save him. And that's where Bright Dare came to play to see where it went.
Yeah, he was a plumber.
Yeah, plumber.
And yeah, without a doubt, I would say that's like the introduction about how I got introduced to a twist. Like, yes, at first you expect Margalo to be this sweet and loving canary, which she is, but you realize that she's a pawn of the Falcon, but she still has a good heart.
Yes, of course. Yes, there are certain twists that you enjoy that are good. You say about it, like this guy is your father or whatnot, or is like the villain instead of the hero. That's one of those cases of certain movies. And Hercules, I saw in Watch Mojo that what's that woman's name again?
Meg.
Meg, thank you. That she was working for Zeus, not Zeus.
Hades.
Hades. I don't know why I said Zeus. Hades. But yeah, that's one of those cases of who do you think a woman was trying to fall in love with you was actually like playing you and all.
But let's see. Like, out of the biggest thing from this movie that would be considered a con. You know, there's pros and cons. For me, it would happen to be Stuart's trying to go and save Margalo, which is great, but making George lie to his parents about like where he's at, how.
Oh yeah,
gone
I
he's been.
hate that as a kid because he got himself in big trouble. He's like, my trouble? No, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, it makes you want to crap a brick so bad.
Yeah.
Ooh, and I would say like let's see another thing. I guess him finding his old plane on a dumpster boat and flying back to save the day, that was very satisfying too.
And what's interesting and awesome and wholesome, of course, the little girl learning how to talk, and at the end of the movie, after Margalo left, she said, "Bye-bye, birdie."
Yeah, that was so adorable.
Who plays Margalo? Because I don't know. I don't think I read it.
Okay, so and another thing.
Melanie Griffith.
Oh yeah. Oh, was it? Oh yeah. Oh, could you say her name again for the people out there? Sorry, people.
Yeah, that's fine. Melanie Griffith.
And the weird thing is that I would eventually see this, this kid show called Wonder Pets, and Ming the duck, she kind of like reminded me a little bit of Margalo because of,
Yeah, the aviator hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is, now that you mention it, yeah, she does kind of resemble her, even though they're not the same species, they do kind of resemble it. Like, both being called yellow, the hat, and the fact they're both female.
Yes. Let's see, other things to come from. What else to come from? I mean, yeah, when I look back on it, it is surprisingly kind of a little bit short. It's still good, but it's just kind of like a little bit like, it's just kind of like a little bit just short. There's nothing else I can say about it. Like, there's one moment that was completely unnecessary about when Margalo left and Stuart was just feeling all depressed. Like, really, when he woke up the next morning and then later on he's shown sitting by that window, it wasn't really necessary, but I do understand what it's like to just, wonder if a friend is just gone forever.
Yeah. And let's talk about the song for a bit. I'm Alive. What was it like when you first heard it?
music to my ears. One of the best songs that I've ever heard, especially when looking at the credits, the casting and stuff. Yeah.
Yes. I'm so glad that I found Celine Dion and one of the commercials and heard the song for a bit. It caught my interest, and when I went to the end credits and listened to it, it is really catchy.
However, I would say the biggest song to ever come from this was from one of the trailers. Back when I first saw the trailer of Stuart Little 2, when it got into, much more bigger stuff. Of course, there was that one song that played, like, What I Like About You, that's what I like about you. That played, and then this song by, let's see, who they, it was from, who were they from? Okay, I'm just gonna have to take a minute right here to recall, like, what would they call it again?
Alright.
Oh, NSYNC. It was NSYNC. They sang this song called "Larger Than Life." It was so awesome to me.
All right. Well, yes, Stuart Little. I'm glad I got to rewatch it when I watched it as a kid, because I didn't really remember much about it. I sort of remember stuff here and there, but rewatching it did bring back some memories from my past childhood, and it's really good to watch it once again. And yeah, it's one of the best movies ever.
Oh, and speaking of which, I guess we can discuss a little bit about the original film if you remember. Like, I remember some stuff. Like, do you? I
so remember. Of course, Stuart Little, mainly about these two parents want to adopt a brother specifically for their son to play with. So they have trouble finding one, and they run into a little white mouse who can talk, and they can understand him. And they thought he was interesting, so they brought him along. And their whole family members and friends came along. They saw him. At first, they didn't know what to say about it, but one of them said adorable, and they all agreed, and they started to like him. But not George, though. He didn't like him.
Yeah, basically saying that he was just like nobody. Yes, that scene right there, like nobody. They didn't mention to the other family members that yes, the adopted brother is a mouse, and they forgot to mention that Snowbell, yes, their family cat, is just is kind of a little bit awkward as well, because
yeah.
Started that love-hate tension from Stuart and Snowbell. Started with a little bit of hate, but then there was that part where Snowbell saved his life from the cats that tried to, freak him up.
Yeah. It's awesome that they slowly became friends, even though he still kind of hates them.
Hey, like, what you gonna do?
Yeah. And what else? Oh, yeah, Stuart's actual parents, or well, how you put this?
I think he mentioned that they were just liars, fakes, phonies.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, liars and fakes, because they were hired by a cat, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. Yes, they
were hired by the main antagonist. It was the cat named Smokey.
Right. Yeah. And of course, they thought it was their real parents, and I thought so too, because they're the exact same species too. But I thought they were fakers. That was what they call a plot twist. And I don't remember what happened to his actual parents. Were they dead?
Yes. I think the whoever that woman was, she mentioned that yes, Stuart's parents did die.
Wow. Yeah.
And another thing, like, you have seen movies like let's see. Like Little Man, right?
It's been a long time. It's been about a year since I've seen it.
Oh, alright. Well, the dude who played Smokey is the same guy that played Mr. W from Little Man.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, he's one of my favorite celebrities because he's very recognizable by face and by voice. Like, for example, he played Buster, was it, in Lady Tramp 2?
Um, honestly, like if I remember correctly, like let me see. Wait, you said the second one?
Yeah, playing Tramp 2.
Okay. Well, for me, like I also like knew him from this movie called let's see, what was it called again? The Usual Suspects, right? And he did, yeah, Lane and Tramp 2, he did.
Yeah. Is his name Buster?
Yes.
Alright, that's what I thought. And what shocked me about the movie, when I watched it a couple times, found out that Bill Fagerboggy is in the movie.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. And also, it was great for Jeff Bennett for his version of Tramp, which is good.
Oh yeah, I forgot he voices Tramp. And I thought the dog catcher was voiced by Rob Paulsen because it sounded like it, but it was Jeff Bennett. But Rob Paulsen is in the movie. He voices a crazy dog at a dog shelter or dog pound named Otis.
Oh wow, another dog named Otis. I'm like, just imagine him colliding with Otis from The Mask.
Yeah, I bet that's his inspiration because of his crazy wildness.
Probably not, but I mean, like it would be like an interesting theory.
Yeah. What else is there to talk about Stuart Little? Overall, really great franchise of movies. There's even the third one, which is actually animated this time.
Yeah, and I believe that's let's see, if I remember correctly, if Michael J. Fox, the voice of Stuart in like in the franchise, reprised again, like if I remember correctly, because in the animated series, he was actually voiced by David Kaufman, who you may know as, who many of you fans out there, Danny Phantom.
Yeah, he still was Michael J. Stuart Little in the third one. It's called Stuart Little 3 Call of the Wild. It was in 2005.
And
so, yeah.
But I think we got like everything out of the way, everything awesome so far.
Yeah, I wish there was more to talk about, but the fact that Stuart Little 2 was a short movie. But it's still nice to talk about our childhood and stuff of memories.
However, I will say one more surprise that threw me off. During that soccer game, there was this one kid that was kind of like a bully, heckling George. That part when George kicked that ball and it hit him in the face? That was the same kid that played, let's see, what was it? Frankie from the Jack Black movie School of Rock.
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah, that might surprise Bliss when he hears it. But
it's been a long time since I've seen School of Rock, so I wouldn't remember which character is which, but wow, that is quite a shock.
And let's see, anybody else that I recognize from there? Oh my God, yes, it's about George's friend. What? Oh, let's see. No wait. What was it? Wait, what was his name again? No wait, isn't it Walter or something? No wait. Dude, but there's something about that one kid. Will. Okay. What I found is interesting is that kid, Will, George's friend, he was in Spider-Man 2 when he played that one kid that said, "How'd you do that?"
Okay.
When Peter did a backflip and it was on his way to see Mary Jane's play, and then he said, "Eat your green vegetables."
Oh, I see. And was he also on the subway train when Spider-Man was trying to save it and he got his mask off?
No, that wasn't him. He wasn't on there. But we all know who was there, which we will discuss, later on with, season, well, whatever season the year 2004 will be.
All right. So yes, I did enjoy this podcast, even though it was kind of short, but I did kind of enjoy it.
I mean, well, I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't really have nothing else to say about the movie, but it's still great.
Yeah, So, yeah, I'll see you then.
Yeah, so see you in when we do like the last episode of season 1.
All right, bye.
See ya.